Okay, so today we're going to be speaking about the Orlando Magic. Wait a minute. I'm talking about the Magic. Yes, I have been watching this season. I've just been really busy with college work since I've started that. So guys, bear with me. But I've been watching a lot of games. More in-depth breakdowns are definitely on the way. Just bear with me, guys. The content will come out to you. But in this video, we're talking about Jalen Suggs. And if you guys remember in the offseason, I did say that I thought that this was a make or break year for basically every guard on the Magic team, or point guard, Jalen Suggs, Cole Anthony, Markelle Fultz, that kind of crew of guys, especially after drafting Anthony Black. I feel like one of them could have been gone. Cole Anthony's earned his extension. Jalen Suggs has looked like an all-defensive first-team candidate. But Markelle Fultz is still beating out the lineup. You know, I love Fultz a lot as a player. I think he's a great player, one of my favourite players to watch. But at the end of the day, he might be the guy who might have to be sacrificed in the long run. Why? Because of how well Jalen Suggs has been playing. You know, when you draft a guy 4th overall, you expect them to come out of the gates as, wow, 15, 18 points per game, shooting threes, this, that, and the third. But certain guys, that's not really their role. Or maybe that's what you expect of them, but they carve out a different role within the team, or their development is on a different pathway. And Jalen Suggs has been like that because his offensive game has always been a bit shaky when he came into the league anyway, and you didn't really see growth. But the one area of growth I've seen which doesn't get talked about enough is his defense. And there's certain guys who you can see consistently bring and raise the energy on the defensive end. Jalen Suggs defensively has been probably the best defensive guard in the NBA this season. I can't name anyone who's been better. And that's saying a lot because Drew Holiday still exists, and so does Marcus Smart. But realistically speaking, I can't name anyone who's been better. And if you look at the Magic roster, you're thinking, well, Paolo had a slow start and is still averaging 19 on like 50-50, 60 splits. The 60 from the line still pissing me off, but that's all right. Franz is averaging around 18, struggle shooting the ball at times. You're thinking, no one in this team has taken an astronomical leap. Why are they so good? Do you know why they're so good? A, because the entire roster is healthy, because they've always been a high-level team. B, guys like Jalen Suggs have elevated their game defensively, which makes such a big impact and all that difference. That's what happens. And it's like, you're not going to hear the Magic get praised on national media on ESPN. And if they do, they're going to talk about P5, Franz. They're not going to talk about Jalen Suggs. They're not going to mention that Wendell Carter Jr. still injured and is going to be out for a while and they're still playing this world at their second seed. No, they're going to talk about, the flashy points, this, that, and the third. But let me tell you guys something real quick. I'm sure you guys remember who won Defensive Player of the Year in 2021 to 2022, right? That season. Do you remember? Well, I do. It was Marcus Smart. And I'm a guy, I don't really like to rely everything on stats, but statistically that season, he had the numbers to back it up and had a case, hence why he won it. So, you know what we're going to do right now? We're going to look at some of Marcus Smart's defensive stats from that season compared to Jalen Suggs' right now. And I'm not saying stats are everything, but it's definitely food for thought. So cool. Let's start off with where? Steals per game. Marcus Smart was a tied 3rd. Jalen Suggs right now is tied 4th. Defensive box plus minus. Marcus Smart was a tied 12th. Jalen Suggs is a tied 6th. Defensive win shares. Marcus Smart was a tied 8th. Jalen Suggs right now is tied 11th. Defensive rating, Marcus Smart was tied 61st, Jalen Suggs is tied 17th. Loose balls recovered, Marcus Smart was 9th, Jalen Suggs is a tied 2nd. And deflections, Marcus Smart was a tied 12th, Jalen Suggs is a tied 8th. And you know what, I'm not by any means saying Jalen Suggs should be DPOY, because at the end of the day, defense is a hard, thing to be quantified based on numbers. A lot of it is eye test, and a lot of it is the defensive system the coach is running. However, just looking at this comparison, you can see the impact Jalen Suggs is having. And it's not easy to be that impactful in a defensive end in so many areas. So I definitely feel like Jalen Suggs should be on an all-defensive team if he keeps it up. And that alone lets you know the level of defense and tenacity he's bringing to the Orlando Magic squad, which is exactly why they're the 2nd seed right now. Because they're dealing with Wendell being out. Markelle Fultz is still having his knee, whatever. And they're still the 2nd seed right now. I'm not saying they're gonna stay the 2nd seed, but the way they've been playing has been a large reflection on the energy Jalen Suggs has been playing. And the biggest thing is him finding his role, because it became apparent early on in his tenure here, Jalen Suggs isn't going to be a guy who can consistently get you buckets in the clutch, create his own shot. Yeah, he can do it at times, but he's not a consistent scorer. His role is being that guy defensively that can pick up the opposing team's best player. He can be the point of attack defensively and put immense pressure on the opposing team's primary ball handler. Jalen Suggs can read lanes. He's very active, has active hands, deflects passes a lot. He's just a guy who instinctually can see defense comes naturally to him. And you see a lot of guys with a lot of athleticism who may not use that to their advantage on the defensive end and may not give that kind of effort. Jalen Suggs defensively is locked in, he's clued up, and he knows what he's doing to the point where it's like, wow, this guy's made leaps and bounds since the first time we saw him 3 years ago in an Orlando Magic jersey. And that's the type of growth I like to see. And it might not be the growth which wows guys in the box score, but it's the type of growth that impacts winning basketball. And it's the type of things that helps you become a playoff team and make deeper runs. So like I said, he's not going to get talked about in the national media. The Magic aren't going to get talked about in the national media too much. And if they do, it's not going to be Jalen Suggs. But for those who watch it on a game-to-game basis, you realise how impactful that's going to be. Obviously, I don't know when I'm going to upload this, but I would like to do it like an hour or two before the Celtics game tonight. Or this afternoon for you guys anyway, tonight for me. And it's like, having a guy like Jalen Suggs, knowing you can put him on a Jaylen Brown, you can put him on a Drew Holiday, that's an asset that not many teams have. Because Jalen Suggs, I can truly say right now, is an elite perimeter defender. And I can say that without being laughed at, because if you laugh, you clearly have not watched it this season. And you clearly have not just looked at the impact he's had on his team. Because it's not been incremental, it's been astronomical. It's been something which can't even be quantified by numbers. You just have to watch it to see. Because he's raising the tempo and he's allowing Jamal Murray to do a bunch of other things. You get what I'm trying to say? So as a whole, I feel like Jalen Suggs has found his role for this team and he's the heart and soul of this team as well. I feel like in this video as well, I'm just realising this now, it made it seem like Jalen Suggs has not improved offensively. Offensively this season, he's been solid and I've definitely been impressed with the way he's played, definitely over the last 10 or so games. He looks a lot more poised offensively, shots coming more in rhythm, and he's knocking down his shots. I've always had confidence that Jalen Suggs will be a more consistent three-point shooter because he has the mechanics to be one. And recently he's been knocking down the three ball too, so I know I didn't make it sound like Jalen Suggs has improved offensively, but I feel like the impact he's had defensively just outweighs offensive growth, so I'm just naturally going to focus on his defensive improvements. But offensively he's been sound as well, definitely improving at a very nice pace. But yeah, that's what I've got for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Obviously I haven't been here in a long time, been busy, caught up with stuff, but it doesn't still mean I don't like the Magic. I'm still going to make content. I miss you guys, man. So let me know in the comment section down below what content you guys want to see next. I'll provide it for you guys. And that's it really. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm out. Peace.